Under the Cover of Fire. Introduction, Meeting the Heroes and the World. Serhiy lived among the concrete jungles of a large city, where clouds of smoke and dust hovered over the streets, hiding the true essence of life. A former Special Forces operative, he had seen more than he wished to remember. His past was filled with dangers, lost friends, and betrayal that changed him forever. Service in law enforcement had once been the purpose of his life, but now it was only a memory of how the system could break even the strongest. He remembered how it all began, when he and his partners tried to stop a powerful criminal cartel that ruled the city in the shadows. Their operation was supposed to be decisive, but betrayal and treachery from within changed everything. Serhiy was left alone, with a stained reputation, without support or a future. In Alina, he saw the opposite, a cold mind and remarkable composure. She was an intelligence officer with a unique talent for seeing through masks, understanding people and their motives. She was the first to propose gathering a team to fight the cartel Black Star. Their acquaintance was difficult. Two strong personalities who initially fought for control, but later united by a common goal. There were three more in the team. Dmytro, an explosives expert who had survived his own tragedies, secretly carrying the pain of loss and preparing to direct his talent against evil. Anya, a hacker from the streets, once an ordinary girl who had felt the pain and injustice of the system, now wielding digital tools capable of penetrating the most secure computer networks. Vlad, a former sniper, silent and precise like his shot, never missing and keeping everyone under his watch. The city they lived in was cold and merciless. Streets glittering with neon and dark shadows hid many secrets, from underground clubs to illegal labs, from corrupt officials to mafia bosses. Life here was a game where the cost of a mistake was death or losing everything. Each hero carried his own wounds and demons. Serhiy, betrayal that forced him to leave the service and remain alone with his pain. Alina, loss of loved ones and the struggle to keep a cool head in a ruthless world. Dmytro, doubts and the desire to atone for past sins. Anya, a yearning for justice through the chaos of the digital world. Vlad, loyalty and silent dedication to the cause. Their meeting was accidental only at first glance. In reality, their destinies were intertwined much deeper than they imagined. They united to become the last stronghold before the abyss, to fight not only crime but the shadows of their own fears and betrayals. With the start of the new operation, they stepped on a thin line between life and death, between revenge and justice. Their actions could change the course of events in the city but also lead to complete destruction. This was the beginning of a long and dangerous journey that would lead them into the darkest corners of the soul and the most tangled labyrinths of the city. Conflict development, the first operation and betrayal. Preparation for the first operation against the Black Star cartel lasted several weeks. The team carefully gathered information, analyzed routes, studied the enemy's habits. This was not just work. It was a trial meant to show whether they could work together, trust each other, and not let the past destroy them. The plan was complicated. Infiltrate one of the cartel's most secure vaults. Steal important documents revealing large-scale criminal schemes. The operation required precision, coordination, and a high level of professionalism. The night of the operation was tense. Serhiy led the group, carefully assigning tasks. Dmytro prepared explosives to distract the guards. Anya hacked the electronic systems. Vlad prepared to cover the team with gunfire. They moved under the cover of darkness, invisible to the enemy but sensitive to every sound and movement. Step by step, they approached the target. Everything went according to plan until a sudden attack occurred. A traitor among them betrayed their position, informing the enemy of their plan. An ambush was brutal and sudden. Gunfire erupted from all sides. The team was trapped, facing overwhelming enemy numbers. Serhiy gathered strength and organized defense, but losses were inevitable. During the chaos, betrayal struck painfully. Trust was broken, and everyone began to doubt each other. Doubts and fear penetrated their hearts, threatening to tear their alliance apart. Despite this, the team broke through the circle of fire and escaped, though wounded and having lost valuable information. After the operation, the search for the traitor began, But in the dark world of crime, it was not easy. Mutual suspicions intensified, and a rift grew between team members. Serhiy felt guilty for leading people into a trap. His inner pain mixed with a thirst for revenge and determination to make things right. Alina tried to hold the team together, but felt that an invisible crack had deeply taken root in their ranks. Dmytro, Anya, and Vlad fought their inner demons. Feelings of guilt, disappointment, and fear of the future. This operation became a turning point. They realized that the fight against the cartel was not only an external conflict but an internal one as well. Despite losses and pain, the team was ready for new challenges. They understood that only trust and unity could save them and the city, deepening the drama and preparation. After the failed operation, the team plunged into investigation and planning. Betrayal divided their thoughts, fueling suspicions that undermined the foundation of trust. Each member realized that their strength lay not only in skills but in the ability to stand together even when the world around them was falling apart. Serhiy spent nights analyzing the behavior of his comrades, searching for signs of treachery. His inner voice offered no peace, but he knew, to lead the team to victory, one must be able to forgive but not forget. Alina, despite everything, kept a hand on the pulse, gathering new data about Black Star. She was a leader not only by status but by spirit. Her cold mind and strong will were the beacon that showed the way in the darkness. Dmytro worked on explosives, refining them, preparing for the moment when he would have to fight not only for information but for life itself. His thoughts returned to losses and vows made to himself, that there would be no more accidents. Anya continued to infiltrate the enemy's digital networks, exposing new connections between corrupt officials and criminal groups. She saw how the dark threads of the criminal world stretched far beyond the city limits, fueling her determination. Vlad, silent and unwavering, conducted training, preparing to cover the team in the most dangerous situations. His shots became more precise and his eyes sharper. At this time, they learned of the cartel's upcoming major strike, a plan called Black Star, meant to flood the city with drugs and violence, change the street power dynamics, and establish control over all spheres of life. This information forced the team to unite stronger, overcoming their fears and suspicions. They began preparing for the decisive operation, the neutralization of the cartel's center. Each planned their role, developing strategies and countermeasures, preparing equipment and weapons. Preparation was no less challenging than the battle itself. The sense of the coming great clash forced them to keep themselves in top shape. They understood this operation could be the last or the first in a new fight for the city's future. At the same time, the team worked on strengthening trust. They shared their fears, past wounds, trying to remove the burden of suspicion and resentment. This was a time not only of external but internal preparation. They knew the battle would be not only against an external enemy but against themselves. Climax, the final battle and revelation. Night fell over the city, covering the last stronghold, the Black Star cartel's headquarters, with its dark veil. The team prepared for the decisive strike. Each felt the weight of the moment where precision and resolve would determine not only their lives but the city's future. Serhiy, like a shadow in the darkness, led the assault, moving with cold confidence. His thoughts focused on the goal: destroy the enemy and restore justice no matter the cost. Memories of betrayal, losses, and years of pain fueled his determination. Vlad took positions on the roofs. His aim became a merciless sentence for anyone trying to interfere with the team. Every shot was precise, as if fate itself obeyed his hand. Dmytro handled the demolition of key objects. His explosives spread a hurricane through the enemy's fortifications. His hands did not tremble, but in his heart was a mixture of fear and faith. Fear of losing again and faith that this blast would cleanse the city. Anya worked on disabling security systems, her fingers racing over the keyboard, cracking every code, clearing the way for the rest. She knew that digital warfare was no less dangerous than gunfire and that virtual traps could be deadly. Alina coordinated actions, maintaining composure and balance. She saw every enemy move, predicted their actions, pushing the team forward despite fatigue and pain. The entrance to the headquarters became hell. Fire and explosions cut through the darkness. Screams and the roar echoed through the air. The team moved like shadows, neutralizing enemies who tried to resist. The climax was the encounter with the traitor. It was one of those they considered closest, a person whose actions could bury all their hopes. The revelation of betrayal became a blow that tempered the team. They realized the real fight was not only against the external enemy but against the shadow within themselves. Losses were heavy, but resolve unbreakable. Destroying the cartel's center, they destroyed the plans of Black Star, depriving the city of further danger. When the first ray of sunlight illuminated the shattered buildings, the team stood wounded, exhausted but victorious. They had survived the darkest moments, remained true to themselves and each other. This battle became a new beginning. They knew many battles still lay ahead, but now faith in victory and trust kept them together. Resolution, consequences, and a new beginning. After the battle, the city changed, although darkness had not yet fully receded. The ruins of the former power of Black Star left traces that reminded of sacrifice and struggle. But among the ashes and broken hopes appeared a spark, hope for the future. Serhiy stood among the ruined streets, feeling how the heavy burden of responsibility gradually turned into strength. He knew many challenges lay ahead, but now he had a team that could not be broken and a belief that change was possible. Alina continued to keep a hand on the pulse, organizing new operations, building a network of allies, and expanding the field of battle. She understood the war against crime never ends, but every gained step is important. Dmitro, though carrying the pain of loss, found the strength to move forward, investing his talent in restoring justice. He understood the explosions of the past must not destroy the future. Anya, confident and focused, continued work in the digital world, watching the slightest movements of the enemy and giving no chance for recovery. Vlad, silent and loyal, remained the steadfast force supporting the team in the most difficult moments. They knew new battles, new hardships awaited, but now together they were invincible. Each had passed through fire and shadows and was now ready to look into the future without fear. And although the city still breathed danger, the team under the cover of fire became a symbol of resistance, hope, and new beginnings.